It's called the fable sport of horse racing, an ancient sport. Its origins date back to about 4500 BC, and since then, horse racing has flourished as the sport of kings. In the modern day, horse racing is one of the few forms of G-word that is legal throughout most of the world, especially and including the United States. And being one of the most widely attended equestrian and spectator sports in America, with tens of millions of fans attending thousands of days of racing annually and wagering billions of dollars. Good evening to you all. I'm Catboy, and welcome back to Equestrian Tuesday, a series that I have decided to reinstate. Today, we have the topic, and now we have a new system. Equestrian Tuesdays means we will be battling against AI to see who is the most informed out of all of us. And we obviously know who's going to win. Me. The subject is... how has horse racing evolved and what more can we do about its safety? So, here's the gist. Our timeline will begin in 1702 during the reign of Queen Anne in England. Horse racing began to become a professional sport. Match racing evolved into multi-horse races on which the spectators wagered, a system that would be known today as bets. Race courses emerged all over England, offering increasingly larger and larger purses, which is prize money, to attract the best horses possible. It made breeding and owning horses for racing more profitable. The rapid expansion of this sport created the need for a central governing authority. In 1750, racing's elite met at Newmarket to form the Jockey Club. This organization still regulates United Kingdom racing to this day. Now in America, you see, horse racing was popular in the UK, so British settlers, being the colonists of the US, brought horses and the tradition to America. The first racetrack was laid out on Long Island in 1665. Although the sport was a popular local sport for some time, organized racing did not exist until after the Civil War in 1868, when the American Stud Book was started. For the next several decades during the industrial expansion, gamble on racehorses and horse racing itself exploded. By 1890, there were 314 tracks operating across the United States. The rapid growth of horse racing without a governing authority led to the domination of many tracks by criminal elements. So, to combat that, in 1894, the biggest track and stable owners met in New York and eventually formed the U.S. American Jockey Club. It was modeled on the English, and it soon ruled racing with an iron fist and eliminated much of the corruption and brought more safety and well-being to the sport. So the early 1900s was almost wiped out by anti-gambling settlements that led almost all states to ban bookmaking, and by 1908 only 25 tracks remained. The same year, there was pari-mutuel betting on the Kentucky Derby, and it was introduced, creating a turnaround for the entire sport. You see how the Kentucky Derby solves everything. By the end of World War I, prosperity and great horses like Man o' War brought spectators flocking to the racetracks. Horse racing was flourishing until World War II. The sport then lost popularity during the Cold War of the 50s and 60s, then a resurgence in the 70s, triggered by, once again, the greatness of horses, such as the 1973 Belmont Stakes run of Secretariat. Thoroughbred tracks exist in about half the states. General public interest focuses on major thoroughbred races such as the Triple Crown and Breeders' Cup, which began in 1984, by the way, the Breeders' Cup. The Triple Crown is as old as 1876. Wait, no, that's the Kentucky Derby. No, wait, that's the Preakness. What am I doing? 1900s was a turbulent time for the sport of horse racing. And that was mainly because the entire point of it was gambling men. Then the invention of transparent government tax pari-mutuel betting systems began, starting with the Triple Crown after the anti-gambling purge, when most states have outlawed any form of it. There was also widespread corruption, unregulated tracks, and it frequently saw trainers cheating using performance-enhancing drugs that I can't even mention on this channel. These would be criminals running these races, swapping out horses for imposters. Like, they steal horses and swap them out. And before the 1900s, jockeys rode with long stirrups and upright postures, and American jockeys and trainers revolutionized the global game by popularizing the crouched or forward seat. They also had these whips. Now that's just, no. Ain't no way you're getting your horse like... This is a demonstration, YouTube. Despite all the chaos, the 20th century gave rise to legends, such as the symbol of hope during the Great Depression, Seabiscuit, and a reminder that horses and people can achieve great heights, like Secretariat. And so, we hit horse racing in 2026. And horse racing in 2026 is heavily governed by science, compassion, and environmentalism. The industry used to rely heavily on visual checks and localized, fragmented oversight. Basically, they just look at the horse on the outside, and there was nothing they could do to look at a horse from the inside, pause, so they can actually check up and keep the horse healthy. So now we have strict centralized federal rules supported by advanced technologies like stride sensors, PET scans, and out-of-competition testing. And we also have trainers that value the health of horses. And as for the potential dangers, it continues to be challenged by severe equine injuries, sudden cardiac events, and unsanctioned track dangers. Despite stricter regulatory tracking and declining fatality rates, the sport remains heavily scrutinized due to high-profile racing scratches and ongoing legal battles. Unexplained deaths still happen in horse racing. It's hard to avoid them, and it's often due to many major player errors. It might also be a result of veterinary scratches coming too late, such as what happened during the 152nd Kentucky Derby, which was one of the messiest years in its history, with 5 scratches, including one that happened minutes before the race. It often points to chronic or long-term injury risks rather than minor ailments. Horses might also display distress post-race. 171 racehorses were suspended by the Oklahoma Horse Racing Commission after veterinarians observed a pattern of abnormal, severe distress and slowly following their events. Even unregulated bush tracks operated without proper veterinary supervision, health documentation, or safety protocols, leading to a secret ring of illegal gambling and allowed for dangerous track conditions, and not even a variety like synthetic or turf. They had bare dirt, like they took a hoe and digged this and didn't even treat it for anything. So HISA is the leading safety company dealing with horse racing safety and well-being for horses. But how do we stop these modern threats? I'll take it away for the next battle. It was me versus AI after all.
Picking up right where that left off, let's zoom out. Horse racing didn't start with mint juleps and fancy hats. It goes back to chariots and ancient civilizations, then gallops through royal match races in England. By the 1700s, tracks standardized distances, stud books tracked bloodlines, and the modern jockey culture took shape. The 20th century brought photo finishes, starting gates, better timing, and pari-mutuel betting that scaled the sport worldwide. Racing got faster as breeding chased speed, saddles got lighter, and training got sharper. But that speed came with trade-offs. Today's problems? Catastrophic breakdowns from fragile legs bred for sprinting more than durability. Track surfaces that vary wildly. Some dirt tracks get inconsistent and dangerous in bad weather. Medication misuse masks pain and pushes injured horses to run. Jockeys face high concussion risk, brutal weight cuts, and limited long-term support. Heat stress, long transport, and crowded fields add more risk. How do we fix it? First, put welfare before wagers. Breed for bone density and soundness, not just speed. Mandate pre-race imaging, standing MRI, PET, or advanced ultrasound to catch micro-injuries early. Standardize surfaces, either well-managed dirt with strict moisture control or proven synthetics where data show fewer breakdowns. Enforce medication rules with out-of-competition testing, transparent lab results, and meaningful suspensions. For jockeys, safer helmets, air vests as standard, real concussion protocols, healthier weight rules, and career support after falls. On track, padded rails, safer starting gates, smaller fields when conditions are poor, and heat policies that postpone races. Limit juvenile racing, require recovery windows, and make independent veterinarians the final word on scratches. And fund robust aftercare so every horse has a plan when the racing stops. Racing's story isn't just the past, it's what we choose next. If we measure what matters, soundness, safety, and transparency, the sport can still thunder, just without breaking what makes it beautiful.
I hope this video has sparked some interest and debate in you. Remember that not all sports are made the same. Some have had to deal with major changes and fights for safety for the jockeys, for the horses. And that is why we need your help. 'Cause animals are priceless. Our creatures are also like that, but real animals need real help. If you would, you can donate $2.50 or as much as you want to these amazing organizations. They would be glad for your service. You'll be doing this world a favor. With that, the next time I'll be playing a game, it'll be me reviewing my new website, the Interplanetary Zoo. It is in my bio when you enter my channel. Again, we are Dark Knight Dragons. Thank you for our first Equestrian Tuesday back. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, did I say it? Peace.